Well, good morning. Good morning to everybody. I'm pleased this morning to be joined by City Councilmember Mark Kersey, as well as Jane Janda Timba, who is president of the local chapter of the American Public Works Association. Today, we're here in this beautiful neighborhood to talk about our streets. When I took office 6 years ago, I pledged to restore pride in our neighborhood on the message of One San Diego. Part of that promise was to repair our roads with a pledge to repair 1,000 miles of streets in 5 years or less. Well, we've blown past that, and I'm proud to announce that that promise has been kept, thanks to the hard work of a lot of people with the city of San Diego, some of whom you see standing behind me this morning. San Diego has sped past a huge road repair milestone with over 1,700 miles of streets that have been fixed. And today we're here highlighting that city crews are on track to repair half of the city street by the end of the year. Half of the entire city of San Diego's street network by the end of this year. And I can tell you that that is historic for our city. When just a decade ago, city crews were repairing just north of 25 miles a year. And now we repair that much in 1 month. From our residential streets, from the one like we're standing on here today, to some of our busiest streets like the Scripps Parkway, we're getting the job done for San Diegans. And that's what this commitment has been all about. And of course, just like everything else, this pandemic has impacted how we are fixing our streets. The city is taking advantage of reduced traffic during the pandemic to complete projects faster, under budget, like the one on North Harbor Drive. And we're fixing streets in all neighborhoods across the city. In fact, roughly half of San Diegans now live on a street that has been repaired between 2014 and this year. And we all, I think all of us know what a freshly paved streets means to pride in our neighborhood. Of course, our neighbors love them, and they deserve them, and rightfully so. And I can tell you that this historic progress didn't happen just overnight. We have streamlined the repair program to work better to prioritize projects to get more repairs done faster. And we focused on technology and improved cash management to make our repairs more effective and more efficient. And we've dedicated half of our major general fund growth revenue to neighborhood repair, including street repair. And that's what I said at the very beginning. I said as our city revenues grow and we do that, we're going to take half of that growth every single year and put it into infrastructure, with street repair being our city's top infrastructure priority. We tripled funding, and now we fix over 300 miles of streets every single year in San Diego. And those decisions, with the support of council members like Councilmember Mark Kersey standing behind me, has made all the difference in the world. We have made significant progress. But part of why we are here, obviously this morning, is to say that there's still a lot of work to do, like paving the other half of our city streets. And I'll tell you, I'm confident that will happen because of one big reason. Because of the robust repair program that we have built over the past few years. It hasn't been easy, but we've had hundreds of city employees helped make it happen. Contractors and city crews have been working every day with one goal: how do we deliver smooth streets to San Diego neighborhoods? So I'd like to say a big thank you to all of our transportation and stormwater staff that have worked tirelessly over the last several years to make today's milestone happen. Chris McFadden, our department director, Christy Reeser, our deputy director, and their teams that have been working on this every single day. We now have a program in place that literally fixes hundreds of miles annually. And I strongly encourage the next mayor to keep pedal to the floor to ensure that every San Diego neighborhood gets this progress, and when they walk out their door, they see a freshly paved street in their neighborhood as well. That's the job that needs to continue to happen. And so now I'd like to introduce a real champion for street repair, who is the chair of the City of San Diego's Active Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, Councilmember Mark Kersey. Councilmember?
Well, thank you, Mayor Faulconer. Even in the midst of a global pandemic, the most common question I get from my constituents is, when is my road going to get repaved? And that is something that has been consistent for the entirety of the 8 years that I've been in office. And that's why it's so great to be here in Scripps Ranch today to see all the great work that has been done. We saw Scripps Parkway driving in. That's supposed to be done in January, which is something that I think people who live in this neighborhood and throughout Scripps Ranch are going to be celebrating in as well. But it's not just my district. It's the streets all across the city. Nearly 1,800 miles that have been repaired and repaved, making driving, walking, and cycling safer and more enjoyable. When I started my term 8 years ago, my objective was to get through the massive backlog of street repairs and other infrastructure needs that amounted to over $1 billion worth of deficit. And so we developed the city's first ever multi-year infrastructure investment plan. We slashed internal red tape to save time and money, and now we've repaved nearly half of the city's street network. We have prioritized rebuilding San Diego. Mayor Faulconer, it's been a pleasure working with you to make this happen. Big thanks go to Christy Reeser, city staff, and crew who have all made this happen. And of course, the work on maintaining our roads is never done. This is something that is a core priority and function of city government and will always be something that needs to be prioritized. But the good news is now we have a mechanism in place to give San Diego residents the quality infrastructure that they deserve. Thank you all.
Thank you, Councilmember. Now I'd like to bring up the president of the local American Public Works Association, Jane Janda Timba. Jane, thank you for being here.
Good morning and welcome. Thank you, Honorable Mayor, Councilmember Kersey, council members, and distinguished guests. My name is Jane Janda Timba, President of the American Public Works Association, San Diego and Imperial chapters. APWA is a public works-focused national association of almost 30,000 professionals that strive to support the diverse range of disciplines that compose the public works sector. Our members strive to help our communities thrive and to provide solutions for a better tomorrow. I wanted to commend Mayor Faulconer and City of San Diego Public Works teams for achieving this important milestone of completing over 1,700 miles of pavement rehabilitation for the citizens of our great city. This work underscores the importance of our infrastructure and is our chapter's hope that the City of San Diego and other local agencies continue to rehabilitate streets, maintain roads, upgrade facilities, and continue to serve as stewards for these vital public assets. APWA urges you to continue to make critical improvements in water, sewer, storm drain, bridges, and of course, roads. It is an investment in the infrastructure that will better our communities and serve as the foundation for our next generation. Thank you, Mayor, for making an investment in our needed infrastructure to better our communities that we live and work. Thank you for inviting me to share in this memorable day. Thank you
very much. Thank you. Thank you, Jane, and I appreciate your comments. And before we take any questions that you may have, I just want to reiterate how important it is to keep this momentum going. Half the streets repaired in our entire city. We have to finish the other half, and that is the challenge, that is objective as we move into the years ahead, and to see what we have started, to send a very strong message of never going back to those days in the past when the city was not doing the right thing when it came to our road network. It's too incredibly important to every neighborhood across the city that deserves a freshly paved street. So I want to just say for all of those watching as well, you can check out the repairs for yourself by going to the website on the podium, streets.sandiego.gov. Or, of course, if you see you coming across a pothole or anything else that needs to be fixed on our roads, you can use, of course, the city's Get It Done app, and have that power right in the palm of your hand. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to our neighbors for allowing us to spend a little time on your gorgeous neighborhood and gorgeous street today. And I would just lastly say in conclusion again, I'm so proud of the city's team that's had a big hand in doing this, to see the pride on their faces, the work of our crews as they go out and get to meet neighbors, making those investments, making those repairs, represents the right thing that we should be doing with our tax dollars. And to continue that effort in the years ahead will be incredibly, incredibly important. Councilmember, thank you all for your help, everything that you've continued to do on infrastructure, making this a priority. And with that, we will pause, answer any questions any of you want one-on-one, and go from there. And thank you all, neighbors, for letting us come again this morning. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, guys.